Here is the story of Bennie Moore, who was born in a small town called Miami in southern Iowa. Miami no longer exists. It was located near Buxton. Buxton was a major coal mining town that had a significant African-American population. The coal mines in Buxton dried out, and Moore's family relocated to Waterloo, Iowa. Moore's story is about growing up poor in Waterloo. As an adult, he was drafted into the military, where he experienced racism. After serving his time, he returned to Waterloo and worked for 23 years at Rath Packing Company, one of the largest factories in the city. Soon after retirement, the plant closed. Like other employees of Rath, Mr. Moore shared the financial hardships that went with the plant closing. Where and when were you born?
You know, I was born in a little town called Miami. It's in Monroe County in south central Iowa. And right now it's a park now. It goes show how small it was. It's called Highway. I think it's called Highway Lakes or something like that now. So that's where I was born.
Let's talk a little bit more about Miami.
But I don't know too much about down in there because, like I said, when we left there, I was 4 years old. So
Okay.
I was born in 1921.
1921.
Yeah,
okay.
April 25th, 1921, and we come up here in 1925.
Okay. Were you familiar with was it
What you-
Mooka? Yeah.
What's it kind of? No, my mother just mentioned that after we come up here, Waterloo.
Okay.
And it's called Muchie kind of, but she don't call it Muchie.
Okay.
And for life, I don't know if that's where she was born or where I know she was there for a while.
Right. Okay.
But other than that, that's all I know about it.
Do you know what she did when you guys were living in Miami or?
Just housework. She's just a housewife.
She was a housewife.
Yeah, I had enough kids there though.
Okay.
Because when we left Buxton, there was 8 of us. See, I had a sister younger than me, Ruthie. There was 7 of us when we come to Waterloo.
Okay.
And the rest of us was born in Buxton. But I just say she had a bunch of miscarriages too, so she had a bunch of children, kids.
All right.
And last one I can remember that died was about 1940. He was 39 or 40.
Okay.
And he was a boy. His name was Harold. And it's up in Iowa City. He had died.
Okay.
And but down in there, I was too young to remember anything about down in there. Only what they would say.
Okay.
And that wasn't much.
Your father, now what exactly was he doing? Do you recall or?
Well, all I know is he listened to talk that he drove the mules in the mine, because when he come up to Buxton, up to Waterloo, he had. I know one thing he brought with him was a mule whip.
Okay.
And we was brought up on that too, 14 of us. If you did wrong, man, he wouldn't whip you, but my mother would. She doesn't breed about that much of it. That tuck was long. But she doesn't breed about somebody, and if you did bad, she just take that on the unbreeded part, and she would wrist up and crack it across your legs with it.
Mm-hmm.
Put you in line, But I had one brother one day, he got a whip and he got angry with her, and he's going to call the cops. He went up on the back porch, and she let it all hang out there. She went and popped him with it, man. He come out there pretty fast. So.
Okay.
That's the only thing I know about his job was that mule whip he brought to back door Des Moines with, back here to Waterloo with it.
The mule whip that he used to work with in the coal mine.
Yeah, driving mules. Yeah, he drove the mules in the mules. Yeah, a little bit around here in Waterloo. I got here and we stayed on the other side of the tracks in 514 in the 500 block. And my mother's stepdad, and Mr. Qualls was his name. At 514 Mobile, we stayed there. And I can't remember how long, but I know I started school up there. I went to McKinney School. They had McKinney School going in. And then they had mother's sister went to Francis Grout. It was another school.
Okay.
And I went there, and how long did we stay there? We moved into 600 block, I guess. Let's see, about 28, 29, somewhere along in there.
Okay.
Before the 30s. We moved there before the 30s. And then that's when I started becoming a teenager. That's like I was telling you before. That's when I started hustling coal. Started making little money. So I guess everybody was poor. And in those days, you got people talk about a penny or a nickel. See, you could buy. You could buy a penny as much like a 15 or 20 cents is now. See.
Okay.
You could go out there and take a $5 bill. I used to hustle coal, and I would sell coal there, and I get a $5 bill. I go down and dress up. I get a pair of shoes and slacks. Shirt for $5, though. I'd be dressed up.
Now you say you're hustling coal.
Well, it was stealing, but you call it hustling.
Okay, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah,
hustling coal. Okay.
And the railroad dicks, they was called railroad dicks. They knew what was going on. Everybody was poor, and I think they let us get along, just go so far, and that's what they would chase us. They fire at you with blanks. We didn't try to hit nobody. They made big old clinkers in heat, but they made a lot of clinkers.
Okay.
So we get the, we knew coal. Get that on the end, that's a real hardcore Pocahontas. We knew that coal, Jack. We looked for the hardest coal. And then we, like I said, I had some sisters lived by railroad tracks. And we had a fence. The fences were about separated.
Wait, now, what are you doing with the coal? So you're hustling the coal.
Yeah.
You're stealing the coal.
Yeah,
you're getting change for it.
Yeah, I get that. See, what we do.
What else are you?
What we do is, see, they get after the trains drop the cars off there, right on the track there. We had kinfolks living off by the railroad track. They had 8-foot fence separate the railroad track from the homes, you know, for residences.
Okay.
And what we would do, we raise up that fence about so high, just enough so it's crawl under or pull a sack under it. Then we go and throw the coal off the car, unload it. I mean, we'd unload it. See, then we get down and we had burlap sacks.
You had a burlap sack.
And we fill them up with the coal.
Okay, all right.
Then we take that coal and we throw it on our shoulder and carry it to the fence, drag it under, and then we had a place we put it. Each one of us had a spot. We dump it, and go back, get another load. See.
Okay.
And I guess when the river just got tired of us hustling coal, then they come make us. They let it be known that they're there. They would holler, "Get out of here!"
Who are you selling?
Oh, Farrell.
Okay.
Farrell's one. He's a tough one. He would fire at you, but enough of the blanks. He wasn't trying to hit nobody.
So who are you selling the coal to?
Well, anybody.
Anybody.
We take some home first. Got to take her home. You know.
Okay. All right. Okay.
For the winter, and we sell it to us. They had some bootleggers around there to buy it.
Let's talk a little bit about the photograph, because this is the photograph is invaluable.
Yeah, that's the one.
Photograph
that was taken in 1938.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. We lived right across the street from that store, Mobile Street Grocery. You know, George Harvey ran it. He's the guy on the end. He's the white guy on the end.
Okay.
And I know I just come back from hustling coal because he's waiting on me, and I got back. I know.
So
because I got chewing out. I got a bit balling out, and because they waiting.
They're waiting on you.
Yeah.
To take the photograph.
Okay. My dad, see, it's barrel night. That's on Wednesday.
Okay.
And I think you draw a card or something out there, and you win it. They had, I think we won I don't know who it was, my mother or my dad, somebody pulled the right correct number, and won a barrel of groceries. So that's how that picture got taken. See, there's a promotional thing. See, it was Jack Sprat Foods at the time.
It was called Direct what foods? The name of the store was?
The store was Mobile Street Grocery, but the Jack Sprat was the brand name they had in the store.
Okay.
I think it's promotion of that. Yeah, I think it's promoting that brand.
So your mother won a bag of groceries?
A barrel.
A barrel of groceries.
Yeah,
she won a barrel of groceries.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a big celebration, man.
Okay.
So George Harvey, man, his stuff, man. So George Harvey, he's all right. He's a good guy.
But this is the store owner.
Store, yeah. He's on the picture. He's the one on the end next to me. Yeah.
He's next to you.
Yeah, the one on the end. See that little step there. I'm the tallest in the family. See, there was 14 there, but the only 13 was there. My next oldest sister, she didn't come. She's in Michigan. She didn't come back.
Okay.
So George Hall was next to me.
And then you have your mom and dad there.
Mom and dad on the end. Then some little stair steps all the way up there to 13
you understanding. And the store no longer exists.
No, that's been torn down now. That's been gone for quite a while.
Let's talk a little bit about you going into the military. I think this is really important.
Well, that was after CC camp. You had to come out of CC camp. I mean, CC camp in 38.
Okay, briefly explain that.
Yeah, I mean, CC camp in 38. And that was called Civilian Conservation Corps. What we did, you got paid $30
Is it Civilian Conservation Corps?
Conservation Corps.
Conservation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, conservation.
Yes.
Okay.
And they paid $30 a month. They sent $22 home to your folks, and we kept $8. See.
Okay.
And all we did down there was clear a branch, go out in the country, did a lot of work for farmers, clear the fields for them, chop down trees, and build little ponds for them.
Okay.
You know, we have mules and horses around there to kind of, we call the buckets, we call them Fresnos, and hook them with, and we dig out the pond, you know.
Okay.
Then we go down to a rock pile. We was stationed in Kansas, in Parsons, Kansas.
Kansas, okay.
And a good old company called 4717 in Parsons, Kansas. And we'd, after get a little pond dug out, then we go to rock and get a lot of rock, and we call it rip wrap. We stand there just like on an assembly line. You pass rock to each other, and you just build a rock up all the way around.
Okay.
Or to hold the water out. But we did a lot of work for the farmers.
But in the early 40s, you would get your first professional job at John Deere.
John Deere, 1940. I think about 19 then, yeah. And I wasn't just working hard. My dad would work at that. He worked hard in Deere's, and he worked in the foundry. And I mean, the job they put me on there, Jack, I was young. I was pretty stout. I was pretty strong. And his little thing there, you get to go down a pit, and you had the machine.
This is your first,
first
going
job.
to John Deere.
Yeah,
you're in the
first
foundry.
job. Yes.
Okay.
No, this is in the mill room.
Oh, you're in the mill room.
Yeah.
Okay. Go
And
ahead.
they had a big machine up there, went around like a barrel, and all this scrap iron would come through there. And they'd go by a shaker. A shaker would shape the sand out. Some little things called big old stars, a lot of pig iron, and all that would come through this here machine, going around like a barrel. Then you have a shovel. I'm down a little pit.
Okay.
Then you have a little platform with a ring on where you're going to load it up with. You've got a ring on to hold the iron.
Okay.
So I'd throw a shovel in that sucker there and catch it and throw it over your shoulder in this here.
Okay.
And Jack, that was work for me, and I didn't appreciate it.
'Cause I know you were at John Deere for some time, and then you would get drafted. Is that correct?
Yeah, I got drafted in August 1st, 1942.
Okay.
And what I did then, we went down to Jefferson Barracks. I think they enlisted in Des Moines. Then we come back home. Then they got a train, went down to Jefferson Barracks, Missouri.
Okay. All right.
And we stayed down there for 2 weeks, got physical and all that stuff, and took blood and everything. We come back home and stayed 2 weeks. Then we got active service on the 15th of August.
Okay.
And that's when I went down to Jefferson Barracks in 15th of August. Then went to Scottsfield, Illinois. We went down for basic training in Jefferson Barracks. That's it for basic training.
All right. Would you be stationed outside the country at all, or?
See, I was stationed in France. And we first went to England, left the station, went to England, and we stayed in England for about 6 months or so. And then we went overseas, crossed the channel, went overseas there.
And what segment of the military were you in?
When I was in the truck company. Drove to a quartermaster, you might be in the quartermaster corps.
We're talking about the 40s now, the early 40s.
Yeah.
Did you experience any type of racism?
And I was confined to barracks, and so the lieutenant asked us, this captain asked the lieutenant at the first sergeant, who was I? And they told him. So they went and got me out there and got me a record and everything, you see. And then he got the lieutenant, asked the lieutenant, said, well, I don't know what the problem was, and the lieutenant told him, and I told him. And he said, well, he got this, and he looked at all of them and said, his IQs are mighty low for somebody to know this much about the service. Why is IQ so low? He didn't know, because it wasn't his fault. That would happen down in Jefferson Barracks. That's a prejudice part in Jefferson Barracks. So anyhow, he told us, so you got one of the best truckers we got in confined to barracks, and we need to bend on the road. So what's the problem? So he told me and him had an argument. So he just told him, he said, I'll tell you what, Lieutenant, said, I didn't put those bars on you, but I certainly ought to take them off of you. So you take that man out there, so give him that tractor, so go pick us up the tractor up, and so he picks the guy up, and get the other tractor towed in. So he got him towed, see. And
so there's so much for the IQ test. Huh?
Yeah.
So much for that.
Yeah, I mean, and
this was something that was kind of used.
It was done quite a bit.
Keep your military.
So you get the lowest jobs.
Okay.
So you had the guys on the pier there, and all they do is unload boats.
Okay.
Now you sit there, unload the boats there, and the port battalion. That's what they call the port battalion.
Okay.
And those would be something. That's the lowest you can get. I don't say the lowest, but I mean you didn't got no brains. You can't do nothing else but that. See.
Okay. All right.
So that's where that's where you found. That's where I found a lot of colored guys at.
Okay, here you are. You've been overseas. You're coming back.
I got back here.
You're coming back. Now, how do you make this now you have to make a transition into
I got discharged
into civilian life.
Yeah,
okay,
I went too hard.
Back.
I got discharged the 17th up in Camp Grant, Illinois.
Okay.
And I come around, loafed a while. I didn't do anything because when I left Deere's, your job's always supposed to be waiting on it. They said when the soldier come back, he gets his job back. Well, by the time when I got inducted, I was laid off anyway. But a lot of my buddies, they were working on Rath, and see, Rath never did lay anybody off. So I went out there. I said, I think I'll go out to Rath and work.
How long did you work?
I worked there 37 years. 37 years.
Did you work until they closed?
I retired in '83. They closed 2 years later.
They closed.
But they about to because what they were doing then. They was about to go out of business, and we kept giving them money to keep it going.
Okay.
See, we give them half our vacation, half of sick leave. What else was it? We give them almost half of everything. Now, when you had 6 weeks vacation, and at that time I was making $10.50 an hour, and that was good money, you see. And when you go on vacation now, and I had 6 weeks vacation coming at that time, and you give them half of that. I mean, that's a pretty good big bite out of my money, and that's to keep your ass going.
Okay. So, but you were here during the turbulent times.
Yeah.
Obviously, you were here. You were there during the time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking specifically
about
of
that
the strike.
Yeah. And that strike coming in '48.
Where were you at when that happened?
when it's almost, it's getting everybody getting fed up.
Okay.
So Mr. Roberts has been there.
This is in 40.
In 48.
48. Okay.
Yeah,
Then we had this Mr. Roberts.
Yeah, old man Roberts.
He's supposed to be striking, is he?
Yeah, he'd be a scab. Want to go in and work.
Okay.
He want to go through the line. Yeah.
He want to get his money.
So he's going up there, and and everybody said that he was one to strike. Said he's a strike breaker. So he had a little Model A Ford. He come up there, and this guy, they had a tavern right across the street there. And this one guy got on there, and they said rocking. See, I was off duty then. I was just coming back up that way. And they started rocking old man Roberts' car, and he had a pistol up underneath, down on the floorboard. I mean, he knew all his boys around and knew he carried a
He's
pistol.
going in. We got all these picketers outside. All these people holding these signs.
Everything. This is just running around the gate. Some of them on picket line, just different areas of Rath.
Okay.
And right across the street there.
Black and whites together.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right, okay.
And like I said, it wasn't nothing racial. It wasn't nothing
Okay.
racial.
You just want more money.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And so this guy, he had to be white, and old man Roberts had to be black. That's all.
Okay.
And he was rocking the car, old man Roberts, but then just shot him and killed him right there. See, and all hell broke loose. And everybody, black and white, they had this big old gate locked where you couldn't get in anyhow. And we I hadn't got into it yet, because I just come up there and they did. Boy, everybody on that black and white all together, just pushed that gate, knocked that gate down. And they were storm the plant, tell you the truth, and go in and get the pickets, I guess. I mean, the scabs. And they broke the fence down. I mean, it's a big old fence. And I got around there, man. The cops was up there and everything. And then that's when I found out, man, Robert shot this guy because I seen him get in the car.
Okay.
And a few days later, the strike was over.
And you can't really blame this individual, old
No.
man Roberts, because he had 15 kids.
Yeah, he had a bunch of
so
kids. Yeah, and we also leave him alone.
Leave
Don't
him
bother
alone,
him, man.
because we know he has 15 kids. So
And the alcohol told this guy he could do that.
I want to know. Okay, you're retired in '83. The plant closes in '85.
85.
Tell me that day, if you can reflect. Just kind of tell me what was going through your mind the time you're watching the news and you get the official notice that.
What really hit me, because they took everything from us. I went to retire. They took away my insurance, my prescription drug card, your vision card, your life insurance, and the pension. And that put so much money up there, we even gave Rath our cost of living. So when I retired, I was supposed to get about $20 a year, really, but I only got 13, because all that money we gave to Rath, just went down the drain. So I got $13 for that, $13 each year I was out there, which should have been 20. So I was short on my pension, though, about almost $300. See, so that's a big amount of money. But I adjusted to it.
Well, keep it up. Keep eating right, keep exercising, do what you're doing.
I don't do much exercise, but I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff to try and help myself, though.
It's been good talking to you.
Well,
Thank you very much
nice meeting you
for sharing your story with me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate that.